What's happening, YouTube? I am Highway to Hill, and welcome to a new video. So, just a little bit of context if you're new to my channel. I own a 2018 BS4 Yamaha YZF R3. I got this in the November of 2018, so it's been a little above 4 years, and I've been riding this bike for 4 years now, and I've clocked around more than 60,000 kilometers so far on the bike. Now, I have always been curious to know the number of R3 Yamaha R3 that sold in India, and I wanted to do this for myself, and I found some interesting numbers which I wanted to share with you guys as well. So that's why this video. um, I'm part of the All India R3 owners group, and I think there was one person who asked this question on the group as well. This person was curious to know the number of R3 that sold in India, but I don't think anybody has taken a count of that number. And I was really curious as well, and I wanted to do this. So let's look at the numbers now. Before we go into this, again I want to set the context and tell you a few things. So Yamaha R3 was launched. I mean, the announcement was made in the August 2015, and then, as you can see over here, the deliveries actually started. I mean, the bike started coming to the dealers November onwards. So the numbers that you see over here, 47, 26, 79, these numbers are not the retail numbers. These are not the actual number of people who bought these bikes in this particular month. These numbers are basically the number of bikes that were dispatched from the factory, the manufacturing plant. In this case, not the manufacturing plant, because Yamaha R3 was not manufactured here, it was assembled here. So from the assembly plant, Yamaha sent out 47 units for November of 2015 to dealers all around India. And this is the number which we are going to look at. And these numbers, I have got these numbers from two websites. One is Team BHP and the other one is Auto Pundits. But actually it's Auto Pundits, because Team BHP gets the numbers from Auto Pundits only. So this is the site Auto Pundits. They report your two-wheeler sales and four-wheeler car sales and two-wheeler sales. They report all the numbers from all the manufacturers, and they get the numbers from SIAM. SIAM is nothing but your Society of Indian Automobile Manufacturers. So any manufacturer who is a SIAM member, they would report the numbers over to SIAM, and you can purchase these reports from SIAM. So for example, you have this section here, publication and reports. So if you go here, you can get these numbers. They charge you something. So annual report might be some 2,500 rupees, something like that. And that's how I have got these numbers. So I went through, so the sale started from November 2015 and it went on till 2020, until the BS6 deadline. So basically, if you see, these were around 53 months, right? And the total number of R3 that was sold in India is 2,141 units. That is crazy. My estimate was 2,500, but when I put all the numbers, I was surprised. I thought it would, at least minimum, I thought it would have been 2,500, but this is the number. And if I divide this number by 53 months, 40. So the Yamaha R3 has been throughout his life cycle in India has been averaging 40 units per month, basically. Just I want to give you a little bit of perspective, right? How rare and how low these numbers are. So on an average in India, in a month, around 15 to 18 lakh two-wheelers are sold in India. Let's take 15 lakhs. Let's take the lowest number, 15 lakhs. So 15 lakh two-wheelers are sold in India per month, and 40 units of R3. It is not even, it's not even 1%, not even 0.1, not even 0.01. It's probably 0.00 2 to 0.001% or something. That is insane. And 2000 units, 2141 units. This itself is like a, I mean, if you look at these numbers, it's like you would think that this was a limited edition bike in India. That's how rare it has been. Wow. So let's go through these numbers. Some interesting things to see over here. So it was announced, R3 was announced, I think, in August 2015, and it was at X showroom 3.25 lakhs. Delivery started November. They started dispatching to all the dealers. So the first financial year, around 277 units sold. The next financial year was the best, 789 units sold. This was the BS3 version. Guys, still remember it had no ABS, and it had, I think, those crappy MRF tires, which really didn't do justice to the bike. And look at this number over here, Feb of 2017, 110. This is the highest amount of units that was ever dispatched to dealers in a particular month, 110. It has never crossed this. It only goes downhill from here, to be honest. Today, if you see the Ninja 300 is consistently doing around 125 units per month solid. It's doing, which is great, and I'm glad. Even though that bike is like so old, it's still doing 100 units, and people can still buy a parallel twin, entry level sports bike, which is great. This year is when the transition happened. This is when the transition happened from BS3 to BS4, and the bike was not selling. Literally, bike wasn't selling at all. I don't know where these numbers were reported. Some 10 bikes were dispatched here, 12 here, 14 here. So this entire year, till Feb this financial year, it did absolutely nothing. And then when the BS4 with ABS and with Metzeler tires was announced, this was the first month it sold 96 units, and that gave it a respectable 140 units for this financial year. Next year, again, good 599 in the whole financial year of 2018 to 2019. This is when I bought my bike. I bought it here, November 2018. This is when I got my bike. But still, see, 599, it still couldn't do better than this financial year, where it sold 789 units. That too, it was without ABS, and it was with MRF tires. Still couldn't beat that, right? And I think it's also something to do with the price, but the price was it was hiked by 25,000. So now the BS4 version was selling at 3.49 lakhs. That was the last price at which the Yamaha R3 sold. After this, it was just the end of the bike. And then again, next year was absolutely dismal. 2019, 2020, this was the last year the R3 sold around 366 units. And then COVID started and all of that, and BS6 deadline and everything, and that was the final nail in the coffin for the Yamaha YZF R3. And yeah, I don't know if this bike will ever launch in India. Yeah, so for me, doing this exercise, it took me like, I think, 1 hour, and It was so much fun to do this exercise for myself, and I also decided that I would make a video and share this with you guys as well. Uh, See, Yamaha is pretty clear. I know a lot of people are waiting for the Yamaha R3, but over the past 2 years, several senior executives have made it clear that Yamaha wants to focus on 150cc bikes and scooters, and moving forward, they will also focus on EVs, and the largest capacity bike that their focus is on is the 250cc, and that's about it. They clearly said that they don't want to bring any CKDs, and they said they don't even want to bring any CBUs. But there was this new chairman who came in almost 1.5 years ago, and they were trying. They said in 2022 they will try to bring the R7, the MT 09 or MT 07 or something, and but that hasn't happened yet, and I don't know if these bikes are ever going to come even this year. um, yeah, so again, really disappointing that this bike is not selling anymore. I have had, the time of my life, every minute, every kilometer on this bike. I am smiling all the time. And people who don't have the bike, obviously a lot of people are longing for this, they aspire to buy this bike, but even as a owner myself, I want, this bike to be sold in India. I want people to experience what an amazing bike the R3 is. And I think these 2000 people who own the R3 are really lucky. And today, I think for the past 2 years, I know a lot of these bikes are circulating in the used market space. People are buying it second hand because that's the only way to experience it. There's no other go. There are a lot of bikes that are still out there which have done very less kilometers, 10,000, 20,000 kilometers, which is absolutely nothing. It's nothing for the R3. The engine is literally indestructible. So 20, 25,000 kilometers, 30, 40,000 kilometers is really nothing for the R3. The bike can, there are people who have done 1 lakh kilometers and more. Um and and because these numbers have been so dismal, this was one of the reasons why Yamaha decided to, not sell the R3 anymore. This is one of the reasons, not the only reason though. uh, but today I think the time is right, at least in terms of price. It's I don't think a 300cc, if you see more, see these prices. Yamaha R3 was at 3.49 lakhs ex showroom. On road it would have been 4 to 4.1 or 4.25, depending on which state you are and what taxes you have. Today, if you want to buy any bike in the 300cc segment, it will cost you anywhere between 3 to 4 lakhs. You take the you take any of the KTMs, you take a Benelli, you take the Ninja, you take the BMW, you take all of your Royal Enfield Interceptors, the GT, and even the Super Meteor, which is going to cost more than almost close to 4 lakhs or more than 4 lakhs. And maybe see, 4 5 years back, Yamaha R3 was at 4 lakhs on road, and it might seem expensive. You could get a couple of Duke 200s, Duke 250s. You could get probably one and a half, Duke 390s for that price. But today, even those bikes, the prices have gone, really high. Everything is in between 3 to 4 lakhs. And if you are in that budget, there is I mean, you can easily stretch another 50,000 and buy the R3. So in terms of price, I think if you know Yamaha decides to launch, I don't think the price would be such a crazy hindrance for anybody who is having a budget of 3.5 lakhs. Can easily stretch a little bit more, and that's the same case with me. And my thinking was also the same. My budget was 3.5 lakhs, and I wanted to go with the Ninja 300, because that time it was localized and there was a price reduction. And then I decided to stretch a little bit and go for the R3. So I think the time is right, but I think Yamaha has a completely different strategy right now, and we really don't know when the R3 or the MT03 is going to come to India. So that's it from me, guys. I hope you found this pretty insightful, and I hope this bike comes to India soon. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks for your time. I'm going to see you soon in the next video. Until then, this is Highway to Hill. You ride safe. Ciao.